All right, guys, I want to apologize. The show got shut down for some reason. Well, not for some reason. Tim's here with me. Yeah, I accidentally hit it on my phone. I don't understand why I actually could control the show from my cell phone and while I'm on my PC, which makes absolutely no sense. I shouldn't have that much control on the cell phone. So
Oh,
we will get Angie and Chris
yep, we're working on it. Well,
back.
Brian is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm going to have a talk with Streamyard that you shouldn't be if you're going to offer that second feature as a second camera for your cell phone, you shouldn't be able to kill your show by with your cell phone. Bill. Yeah, we're back, Bill. Apologize. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm going to have a little talk with StreamYard. If I'm going to be able to use that feature as a second phone, or a second camera, I should not be able to end the stream from the phone while the PC is on. Makes sense, right?
Guys, I want to
There we are.
apologize
Welcome
to
back.
Yeah, well, I guess it really boils down to whatever medium you start the show with.
Yeah.
That's the one that controls everything. So
Yeah.
if you add the second camera,
Yeah, you
just
shouldn't.
don't start it from your phone. It was an
Yeah.
accident. I know. It was no big
It's
deal,
ridiculous because it's even a different name. I am logging on to StreamYard as a different name, so I shouldn't have that much. I'm actually logging on as a guest. Now, a guest should not have that much power. So if I were to send that link to somebody and they were to open it on their cell phone, they would be able to control the whole show. And it shouldn't be that way.
right?
Well, hey, welcome back, Angie and Chris. Oh yeah, I'll say it again. I made another boo boo, but we're
two.
back.
Hey, Bernie.
Hey now.
Somebody didn't get his nap today.
The old man's got it down. We'll discuss that later. Let's we'll get back to what I think Tom was talking about, the notes he was picking up on the.
Yeah. It definitely like a Marb Special Blend 27. I think it's the full name of it. It's what this tastes like, and I was a fan of those.
Yeah, I thought for sure you had tried some Black Note. I think everybody on this panel has tried Black Note.
Nope. When I first started, and for the longest time, I stayed away from tobacco flavors just because I didn't want that.
You wanted, the familiarity.
Right, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just been just this last year or so that I'm slowly getting back into some.
I say you put it back in that other mod.
I say hell no.
You big chicken. Angie,
Yes.
how's the tobacco flavors as far as sales there at your shop?
Good, but
yeah, it's not. Yeah,
could be better.
It's 15%, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, adults like flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adults like flavors. Yeah, we don't grow up. We don't get old and then just decide that we don't like anything sweet anymore. That's ridiculous. I always tell everybody, I go, well, can you imagine going to a restaurant and just ordering all the bland food they have and just eating that for the rest of your life? That's what it's like for us. Why do I want to, go vape tobacco flavors for the rest of my life when I had choices like, strawberry, banana, peanut butter.
Yeah, and like Tom's saying, for a lot of people, it's tricky. They get scared that they might go back to the real deal. So it's really important for adults to have access to flavors.
Yeah.
I have a friend right now that's trying to kick cigarettes, and he just wants tobacco or strawberry kiwi, or he's very set in what he wants, and it's hard to find.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Angie, because I have converted a lot of people to vaping, but the one group that I've been having, I won't say a hard time, but it's taken a longer process to get them off, are chewing tobacco people. What do you have a system that you guys try to use for those individuals? It's hard with them because they keep that dip in their mouth sometimes for an hour.
Yeah, that is probably the hardest customer. We try to spend a lot of time with everybody and make sure that they can taste a lot of things before they're out the door. But because you don't have the hand to mouth, that whole part of it, that mental side, you can't replace the exact same dip thing with
Yeah, it's hard.
vaping. So it's hard. I mean, they really have to want it to work.
Yeah,
If you don't have the desire to really quit, you never will.
Yeah, what I've noticed is a lot of them become dual users. They fall in love with vaping, but they'll still have the chew in their mouth. And I'm just like, it's been a long time since I chewed, and the flavors weren't that great back then, and they can't be that much better today. But mixing that and say a banana custard, it just doesn't go well. Brian, are you ready?
Yeah.
You sure? You didn't look like you didn't sound.
No, I'm ready. So kind of Chris knows this, Angie knows this a little bit too. I was involved with a line before, and I kind of know those off the top of my head. I just know them. Yeah. And so with the Lazy Llama, comes in 7 different flavors. 0, 3, and 6 in those. And they're all bakery flavors. Like Tom, she's got the sweet spot. And then you've got Blue Bake, which is the bottles are going to be the same and colors are going to be different. Blue Bake is going to be a cinnamon roll, blueberry cinnamon roll. You have your Unholy Cannoli, which is going to be your chocolate cannoli with strawberry inside. Your Sugar Crumb, which is going to be like your sugar cookie, roughly. Your Poke Cake. That one's going to be your vanilla cake with orange kind of like flavoring in it. For those who don't know what a poke cake is, it's like a cake and you poke holes in it, you put gelatin in it. That's pretty much what a poke cake is. I've noticed when I went to shows, nobody knew what that was. So I think it may be a Midwest thing. I don't know. That's my guess. And then you got your two donut ones, which is going to be your strawberry and a peach cake donut. One of my favorites though from them is actually Redhead. It's a very, very unique, different flavor. And that one is basically your strawberry ginger lemonade. It's really unique and different. I mean, I use Black Sun too. Black Sun 12 milligram is just awesome to use all the time. And then their 503 line, SAS. That's one I'm really addicted to. Is SAS. I use that one a lot. Ultimatum is probably another one of my favorites too. Like I said, I've used quite a few of their line. I recommend it, and I like the fact that some are actually really nice for those who are actually trying to step down and not use as much nicotine if they want to.
You have the SAS?
Mm-hmm.
All right, try that one because I'm curious.
I've been vaping on it. It's actually a little tiny guy right here. Yeah. It's actually a really good. It's a really good root beer. It's to me it reminds me of those like root beer barrel candies. Is what it is.
Ooh, I like those.
The other good root beer that they have is Float. And that one's probably by far one of my favorite root beers that they have.
Are all your lines? I like that all your lines go from 0 to 20. That's awesome. I think a lot of shops have forgotten about those people in the higher milligrams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the MTL crowd.
Yeah. Which one are you trying?
I've been using SAS all night.
Oh, is that the only one that you're going to review tonight? Or are you being lazy tonight?
No, I'm not being lazy. I've been on SAS, and then I've actually been using also their caramel apple pie too. Been trying those two. I'm a big dessert person. That's the reason why I got designed into a line, because I'm more of a dessert person. But so yeah, no, I've been using SAS tonight. I really enjoy it. Really like it. It's not super root beery. It's kind of got that. To me, it's got like the candy tone to it. It's really nice.
There's the Purple Rain. I wanted to see what you had in that Purple Rain. I know you said it, but I was kind of curious. Did you base that on something that you thought that Prince would? Because isn't he like a pancake lover? Pancake and bananas or something like that?
That was Elvis.
No. He was a pancake fan too, I thought.
I don't know if I've ever heard anything about Prince and pancakes.
Same.
I mean, did you base that flavor profile on things that you thought that was going to be something Prince would eat, or drinker.
No, it's just it's like the plum, grape, purple, Minnesota, Prince.
The Vikings.
The Viking. She just threw that all in there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have a Viking flavor in there. I'm sure you're a Vikings
I'm actually
fan.
surprised we don't also. We're huge Vikings fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Disappointed every year.
You see the guy from Green Bay shaking his head. The Rams
I'm
fan,
not from Green Bay.
or whatever.
I'm a Green Bay fan.
You're a fan.
I'm actually closer to Minneapolis than I am Green Bay.
Yeah, and then you got the Rams fan, and I think Tim is a Washington fan. We can't say the other name anymore, so Washington.
I would quantify myself as an appreciator.
Yeah.
Purple Rain has gotten me more hugs in vape shops than any e-liquid we've ever had. People either love it or they're like, "Why did you make me try that?"
Yeah.
It's the number one thing people have in common that love it. They're like, it tastes like shisha, which I guess is something you use in a hookah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
It's floral, but I literally have had like, what do I say? Younger hippie type ladies like hug me. Oh my God, I've been looking for this my whole life, and they're like, they found it. So, but that's lots of hugs from that one. So.
I got to ask you about the mango. That's got to be a top seller.
Absolutely. Yeah. The good one. That's another great all-day vape.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got so many questions here. You can answer. What setup are you using, Angie?
Oh, I'm using a Vaporesso XROS.
An Xros. However you say that.
Oh, yeah. That's the new one, right? With the magnetic.
It's there.
How are you enjoying that?
I like it. I like it a lot. Can get a little bit leaky sometimes, but other than that, it's wonderful.
And now with the shops, are you trying new stuff as it comes in? Are they floating stuff over your way? Kind of like, here, give this a try.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you walk into a Smokeless, we're not like wall-to-wall product. We curate for our customers, so we'll spend a lot of time on the back end trying stuff, passing it around, having everybody try it in the office, and make sure that it's solid before we put it in our store.
So no smoke products then. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, I got Chris to laugh there. He laughed. Or smock, however you want to say it.
Right.
No. Any other questions for Angie and Chris, you guys? And
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
How does a fella go about getting hired at one of your locations? I might be looking for a new job.
How close are you to Woodbury?
I don't know. I'm like 2.5 hours from Minneapolis.
So Woodbury's just over the border from Hudson. That would be our closest store to Wisconsin. It's a lovely store. That is a very, very cool store too.
I'm just in it for the free food and stuff.
For the food. You're gonna go for Chris's cooking?
Hell yeah. I might learn some stuff to improve my cooking.
You could bring your smoker over there. You guys can just smoke meats and back there and make tamales.
Yeah, we very purposefully put a nice kitchen in our warehouse space so Chris could cook for us.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
He is an incredible cook.
I think I'll be cooking very soon. Maybe tomorrow.
Every Sunday you cook. You always put pictures on Sundays.
Yeah, well, when you're home with kids, which is interesting because my kids only eat about 10% of what I make.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Unless it's pizza.
I'll send you my address. You can send me stuff. I'll eat it.
Yeah. My kids don't live at home anymore, but that was the same way. It'd be about 10%. But man, if I ordered pizza, I wouldn't get a slice if I were not in the room at the right time. But yeah, you start.
3 things they eat and they won't complain about. One is I call it white trash pasta.
White trash.
I call it white trash pasta because people are like, "Man, that's an incredible arrabbiata sauce. How'd you make that?" It's like, well, I put ground beef in a pan and I put a jar of ragu in it. Arabiata I've had. I was like, I don't know what an Arabiata is, but I'm glad you feel that way. So
as an Italian, I'm gonna say hell no. But,
yeah.
but I thought you were gonna say ketchup, man, because I have 2 Okie buddies, and that's what they put on their pasta is ketchup. And I watched that, and I just like I shake my head. I go, dude, I would rather have ragu or any other pasta sauce that you can find at any supermarket than Hunt's ketchup on my pasta.
I've seen real Italian people do that. And I'm like, I don't understand why.
Old school Italians will put ketchup on their pasta, and I like the next day pasta, not the same day pasta, but like pasta.
Microwave.
Yeah,
fry your spaghetti to heat it, and then they would throw ketchup in it because they needed more sauce.
Yeah. Huh. So kind of curious, Angie, I don't know if you know, but what is your number one sold product in there as far as hardware in your shop? Tank wise and hardware, like device wise, do you have any idea?
No, honestly, off the top of my head, I'd need my retail manager here to
you need that guy.
Question.
I'm always kind of curious to see what different areas what's selling, but you have a high end of mech mods, so that's got to be. What are some of the brands that you sell there as far as
we try to have something for everybody, like we've got the pod systems, the smallest stuff, we got the big stuff, and we've got the in between. Like I said, we put all of it through the testing before we'll ever bring it into the store to make sure that we know that it's solid.
Nice.
So,
I mean, what are some of the mech mods brands that you're selling in your store? I was going to actually look on your page. Are they listed on the site as well, or no?
No, we purchased a lot way back in the day, and honestly, I'm not even sure if much is on the website, but slowly but surely it trickles out of the stores as some hobbyists on it, and they're like, "Whoa, I haven't seen that in years." So I can't really name drop. It's been too long.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's nice. I mean, as far as is squonking still big there? I don't know if they're kind of faded out. It's ran its course.
Yeah.
You guys haven't
niche.
Yeah, it did take off there for a while. I'm sure you were selling a lot of pulses back then, a couple years ago in the shop there. Yeah, Tony, we had Tony B on last week, and you still credit him with the introduction to buying a squonker. Everybody just went crazy for buying squonking devices. Mm-hmm. Anybody got any other questions for Angie and Chris?
I don't right now, no.
What? Mm-hmm. You're speechless?
I think I asked all my questions.
You did a good job. Angie and Chris, we're going to jump into our vape news here. If you guys would like to stick around, I know it's late for you guys. If you want,
I have a second grader. I think I need to put to bed.
Yeah, no problem. We will post all the links to the website. We have your links for your Facebook group page and also your IG page that's on there. Now, you have 2 IG pages, I think, right? Or is one better than the other to link to send people to? Is it the 503 one or?
Well, again, we used to post there, but we pulled back on social media. New content, you want to sign up for the newsletter, check out the website for blogs.
Okay.
And we do have Facebook. It's /SmokelessMN.
Oh, yeah, we got it. Yeah, we have that link. So is the newsletter from your page, correct? They would have to go to your website to sign up for your newsletter?
Yep.
Okay.
Should be a pop-up at the website for that.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Brian will post those links. I gave them to him. I think we have them, most of them in our private chat here. Oh, well, actually on the other page, but I will make sure Brian puts those up for you guys. And we want to thank you for your time coming on here and letting us know a little bit about yourselves and your shop. It's awesome. Like I said, hearing kiosks. When you said kiosks, I said that's great because that's a true story of starting from a kiosk to having, what do you have, 4 stores now? That's awesome. And I hope down the road, many more. Some here. Come to Cali. Come back to Cali.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Chris. Again.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Angie, and good night. What's
Wow,
happening?
down to 4.
Look at this crew. God damn it. This is like this is like the pictures that you see at the post office right here. The most wanted. Tim would be like the guy that robbed a jewelry store or a guitar center.
I'm too identifiable. I mean, my disguise would be Cousin It. I would just walk in and I would walk in like Cousin It, and they would be like, "You can't miss him.
You can't miss him.
You can't miss him. He just looks like a ghillie suit."
He looks like you couldn't say he looks like a Tim. He doesn't look like a Tim.
No.
Yeah.
I look like a Mitt.
A Mitt?
Yeah, it's my name backwards, so
that's true.
It is in there. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some news. All right, bear with me, folks. Give me.
Okay, I got a PSA thing after Tim gets done with the news.
You got it.
I'm back. I could not hear anybody on the show as soon as he started playing that little intro.
You think it's something to do with that though? Because I think I get the same thing, Tim. I get like maybe 5 to 10 seconds where I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but you know what? There's worse things happening in the world other than my mic cutting out right now. So
but real quick question: Does it happen every time we do that? Because I want to let Streamyard know. Okay.
No, it doesn't. It's random, and this is the second time it happened tonight, and it was purely coincidental. Anyway, enough of that. All right, so we're on to the news. So yes, to anybody who's in the chat group tonight and has asked a question, we're going to get to the looming news and talk about vape mail. But I wanted to start off with one article that was one that I actually had put on hold from last week. Hold on, let me share my screen. Hopefully we won't get too many websites with pop-ups and
don't worry.
There we go. All right. So this one I kind of paused it from last week. I just thought this one was a little interesting to talk about because this article is a little deceiving to me. I just hope that it's not really any kind of a foreshadowing for what's about to come. But this one has to do with seizures of tobacco products by the FDA. And the way this article is worded, it's a little difficult to parse out exactly what they confiscated. But it looks like the FDA is now going to start kicking down doors and really put the clamp down on stuff coming into the United States. Whereas we all know a lot of stuff comes from China. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't include a ton of e-liquids. I don't think that manufacturers are making them overseas and shipping them in. But it was an interesting article about the FDA taking a stance on tobacco harm reduction products. I put i.e. vaping in there because it's got to, the word comes up too many times. But all of these particular actions that they took were spurred by policies laid out by what's called the FD&C Act, or Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. I've never even heard of that. Must be some legislation that I could probably do a little bit more research on, and the Tobacco Control Act. Right, so Bill's going to help out with supplementary notes. So anybody likes to read, he'll throw in some additional facts in there. So basically, these activities were carried out by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Department. They seized 33,681 products from 42 different shipments at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So this is Customs and Border Control. This is not like some seedy warehouse on a back road somewhere they kicked in the doors, guns blazing. They were looking for stuff, and they found this. So what they seized totaled $719,453. So almost $750,000 worth of vape products or tobacco products that were headed to what they say are Texas destinations. I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that meant vape shops, end users. It doesn't really specify. It's very vague on exactly what they seized. But they're claiming that they're looking to crack down and intercept a lot of counterfeit and or otherwise violative e-cigarettes, including certain flavored e-cigarettes imported to the U.S. So what does that say? Certain. Yeah. I don't know if that means certain types of flavors, or if this is reminiscent of the Valley thing, because as we all saw out on the news and back channels, a lot of people were selling a lot of these black market THC carts under the guise of, what was the name of the company?
Dash or no, not Dash. I'm sorry.
Dank Vapes.
Dank Vapes, right?
Dank.
Which is not even really a company. It's just a packaging producer. So they didn't even have their own products. But anyway, when they say certain, I don't know what they're targeting. Port Director Timmy Lemieux, whatever, stated, it's especially alarming when these types of counterfeit and unauthorized products find their way into the hands of children, as studies indicate. But what he wasn't clear on exactly is that he didn't explain how the products are more likely to end up in the hands of kids. So again, they're conducting these seizures, but they're not offering a lot in the report as to exactly what it is that they're trying to crack down on. Are they, and they say counterfeit products. So, if I had to speak on anything, I would say maybe they're looking for puff bars and things coming in. Like what are kids getting their hands on? Yeah. I've always been of the contingent that the kids are smart, right? They're not buying them online through Element Vape and My Vapor Store and stuff like that. They're not taking those channels because they're too risky. But they are smart enough to use social media and things like Snapchat and some of these other disappearing things where they can find back channels to get stuff. So I don't really know. This article really doesn't go into detail as to exactly what it is that they seized that could get into the hands of kids. I'm going to guess that a lot of this stuff was headed to smoke shops in general. They seem to be a target of a lot of the citations and things that are going out lately. And when I say smoke shops, these are not your neighborhood vape shop that you're used to going to. I mean, those places are pretty much on the up and up. Most of these smoke shops are just, head shops that are run in different cities and towns. Mitch Zeller piped in, and he said the FDA continues to prioritize enforcement against e-cigarette products, specifically those most appealing and accessible to youth. What does that mean, Mitch? What exactly does that mean? What's most appealing? Small, jewel-type devices, concealable, pod replaceable, discrete devices, I'm going to guess puff bars, things of that nature. And then Judy McMeekin, she's the FDA Associate Commissioner for Regulatory Affairs, stated protecting American consumers from illicit and especially harmful tobacco products such as counterfeit or flavored e-cigarettes is of utmost importance to the FDA. And I think that it's worthy of noting that she said illicit, so there you go, that's the THC part of it. But counterfeit or flavored e-cigarettes, and they will quickly transition and say that the THC stuff is flavored as well, which created a lot of confusion during the Valley period because, the THC carts were like lemon this and grape that, and God knows, I don't think they probably tasted like that, but I'll agree with you, JT. A lot of wholesalers, people like that are moving things in bulk and getting them to private sellers, probably people selling out of their house and stuff like that. So it didn't specify that they arrested anybody or that anyone was actually thrown in jail or anything like that. They just seized the stuff coming in from China. Yeah, so my specific takeaway on this one is I just said specific details about what was seized was not revealed. It's hard to grasp context when you don't know what exactly was involved in the confiscations. Was it THC? Was it puff bars? Or counterfeit jewels? Things of that nature. So, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to get out there and find all kinds of knockoff stuff that comes in from overseas. So there's that one. I don't think you're going to get swatted at your house for having your 503 Blackbird. I think you're all right. All right, now we're going to move on to the biggest one. Saved it for a second. A lot of people have been asking about it in the chat. Is what's going on with vape mail. So let's backtrack a little bit. This article actually came from Vaping 360, but it's been in 25 different amalgams on 100 different pages. And this was a question that was being asked all this particular week because we already knew that with the omnibus bill that was signed in December, which was under Trump's administration. It was pork slid into the omnibus bill, which was basically bipartisan supported, where USPS would be banned from carrying vape mail to end users or for home delivery purposes. So we already knew that one was in the pipeline, but a lot of us were kind of holding on to hope that the other two major carriers that we're familiar with in this world would effectively pick up some of the slack and still do that. So for clarity for everyone who's watching, in the Pact Act, there is line item detail that states that those carriers can still ship home delivery vape products. Vendors, resellers, wholesalers, online people, even shops that do shipping. I mean, not every shop is localized. Some of them actually ship. You still have to register for the Pact Act, and I'll go over to what those requirements were, which details having to pay particular taxes. You have to take down the information of all your sales. You basically have to own up to saying that I'm shipping to a reliable person on the other side. And in those cases, that when FedEx and UPS would deliver those products to those houses or locations, that there would be ID verification on that side so that the person could sign off on ID verification. So, some little 15-year-old can't answer the door and get it. You would have to have mom or dad or bro. I'm guessing names would have to match and all that other stuff before you could sign off on that. But such is our luck in these times and days. FedEx really quickly pulled the plug on that and fell in line with USPS and claimed that in March, as of March 1, their policy was changing and they would no longer carry vape mail. So that left one bastion left in the group, or the most obvious one, and that was UPS. And a rumor started on Twitter maybe about a week ago, where a post was put up that a particular vape shop, was trying to register with UPS for an account, a business account, so they could ship to their customers. And the rep on the phone told them that they could not get a business account because they would be ceasing to carry vape products in the very near future. That started as a rumor. It flew around Twitter really quick. I commented on it in a couple different groups, just letting people know that this was already out on the airwaves. Greg Connolly was like, "There's no confirmations, anything like that." I have a friend who is a logistics director inside UPS. I went right to the horse's mouth. I figured, she's probably on all the corporate communications and closer to the executives than some other people who are, because we all know when you call for customer support for stuff, one person tells you one thing, another person tells you something totally different. So not a lot of reliability there. But she did confirm that they would stop carrying vape products in April. And right around that same time, that's when all these online articles started dropping. So it is a fact. UPS will, as of April 5th, stop doing home delivery of vape products. So end users, right? Us, the customers. And I think the reasoning behind it, because my friend in UPS said, well, it's an FDA federal government regulation. And I said, well, I'm familiar with the language. It's not really. Yes, it is. But there's nothing to say that UPS or FedEx couldn't still carry those products. Of course, she didn't have anything to come back with that, and I don't blame her. I mean, she's not my complaint hotline. I can't sway her. She knows I vape. She's actually the girlfriend of one of the guys in the band I work with. So she knows, but she works for a company where she's doesn't have a lot of fighting back that she can do. So, but basically, what it means is that all three major carriers now will be completely off the table in terms of doing home delivery of vape products. What does that mean for us as consumers? Well, I don't know, because I'm not on the inside with some of these distributors who will hopefully be able to find someone who's willing to carry the torch and carry vape products for us. Could be some courier service, who knows on what particular level. If anyone's going to ask this question, what about DHL and domestic deliveries with DHL? DHL has already previously had a no nicotine policy prior to all of this. So I would not expect DHL to pick up any of the slack on that particular case. What does it mean for vape shops? Because that may be your only way of getting things until some of this is sorted out. We may go into the dark for a while until couriers and delivery companies are identified. But vape shops, from what I can tell within the Pact Act and current verbiage that's out there on the internet, is that the Pact Act does allow for non-mailable, and when I say non-mailable, that means to us, end users, home delivery, that wholesalers and distros and vape shops can ship tobacco products amongst themselves. So will vape shops be able to get their supplies? More than likely, yes. What will that result in? It's going to result in price hikes for everybody that's looking to get things, because you won't be able to order anything online. I mean, maybe you will. Maybe this gets solved before that time. They've got a couple months, at least until we know it's cut off before something can happen. But you'll be able to go to your local vape shop if you have one, and you'll be able to get, provided they stock it, get things you need like coils or juice or, God knows, replacement glass. Who knows? It's going to be very difficult because, as we all know, vape shops don't carry all of the breadth of products that we have at our fingertips online. So
hold on, Tim, for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
I kind of want to see what Jesse has to say about this. I mean, he works there. I would love, Jesse, as Tim is doing the rest of the news, can you please write anything you want on there in the comments so we can get a general idea what kind of talks are going on over at UPS, or where does he say he works? He works for UPS. Yeah. So as Tim is doing the news, just let us know. I mean, I know you can't say much, but what are the talks like over there at UPS about this?
Yeah.
So go ahead, Tim.
And to JT's point up there about whether or not we all have to become a business to get our product, I thought about that.
Yeah.
I thought, let's all independently become our own vape companies, and then we can register for the Pact Act. But I don't know if you even want to do that. I wanted to read.
I think you have to get your neighbor to sign something.
Yeah, well, I just really, people might not be clear on exactly what is involved with the Pact Act and why vape shops and online wholesale. And this is something that's existed since, I think 2009, I believe, when it was instituted for cigarettes and things like that. So basically, they just reclassified all vape products as tobacco products and then put it under the same umbrella as the Pact Act. So the Pact Act requires all delivery sales companies, people who sell vape products, to register with the U.S. Attorney General and the ATF. They need to verify the age of customers using a commercially available database, which a lot of online vendors already have age verification. Use private shipping services that collect an adult signature at the point of delivery. This is the caveat, and that is that FedEx and UPS could do this. They could certainly have their drivers ring your doorbell and do ID verification. My guess is that they don't want to be burdened with any of this liability. So the first moment that it comes out that some underage kid flipped a fake ID to a driver at FedEx or UPS, you're going to have lawsuits all over the place. And that's really what corporate America is built on, and why they stop doing things or quit doing logical stuff. It's because it's all about corporate lawyers and liability. So that's my feeling on why FedEx and UPS did it, and they're just using FDA regulation as their cop-out, reasoning as to why they're doing it. Collect all applicable local and state taxes and affix any required tax stamps to the products sold. Send each taxing state's tax administrator a list of all transactions with customers in their state, including the names and addresses of each customer sold to, and the quantities and type of each product sold. So that means that we would all get entered into some big, massive database, which I don't know if that's amenable to a lot of people. I mean, you may not want to be part of a big government database and have your name on file as being some sketchy dude that buys, vape products. And they have to maintain those records for 5 years of any delivery interrupted because the carrier or service determines or has reason to believe that the person ordering the delivery is in violation of the Pact Act. So sellers who are registering for this, they're under the gun too. So if they get involved in any nefarious actions or they fail to register and do a lot of this stuff, they could suffer some serious fines and I'm sure some massive issues. So it's not surprising to me that FedEx and UPS pulled the plug on this one, just because they're huge corporate entities and they don't want to tarnish their names and be wrapped up in lawsuits over underage kids somehow duping their driver into signing off on getting their sourinaire that they aren't supposed to have in the first place. So a lot's left to be seen. As of right now, Paul, I believe ZampleBox, as long as they ship internationally, I don't think that there's any issues with going to Canada. So as it stands right now, they can still use USPS up until March. And then after that, I don't know what ZampleBox will transition to for a brief period or window of time. I mean, I know all these carriers ship internationally. I just feel bad for everybody because you go to FedEx and UPS for international carrying, and the ceiling is going to raise on that. The prices are going to be astronomical to get that stuff across borders. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 probably for most international shipments. But you go to FedEx and UPS and it's going to skyrocket. So it's going to mean a big price hike for everybody, especially if you're going to your local vape shops. No slam on them. I'm just saying, if that's your only channel, we already know that vape shops have markups anywhere between 25 and 30%, and sometimes higher.
Yeah, Paul, just keep an eye on the ZampleBox webpage there, and they'll be keeping up with updates, what's going on with their shipping. So just pay attention to their website. They'll keep you informed.
Yeah, and and I would just say, do what you think is prudent for your journey, for your ability to stay in the game, right? Don't go back to cigarettes if you can help it. Do a little stocking up as best that you can, within your means. A lot of people are talking about going to DIY, but you're still in the same boat in that one. If you can't get the stuff, what good is it anyway? So that said, I would just encourage people to do what you think is prudent between now and April. We could see a window open at the end of that time period, but for now, don't get caught, not being able to get what you need. I feel mostly bad for people who live in rural areas who can't access vape shops, or those who have physical disabilities who can't even get around on their own and rely solely on online shopping to get their vape products. I imagine those people probably the ones that will get hurt the most. But that's just my opinion. That's true. Got to pay them bills. I mean, I already know about that. Pay the bill or order that new Vaporesso PX80, that PX80 swag that I have my eyes set on. Anyway, moving on to the last article, so I don't want to take too much more time. This one I actually had to switch out to a different article, only because the one paper that it was posted on, I had to pay for a subscription, and I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm going to do that. So this is our advocacy article for the night, and we may have talked on this before, but Angie brought it up because even in her state, they're talking about raising cigarette taxes, in which case now they want to apply vape taxes as well. So in Indiana, this is statewide, there's a House bill out right now, 1434, that would increase the cigarette tax by $1 a pack, bringing it to $2 a pack overall. So ever since, 2007, they haven't upped the tax on cigarettes since. They're adding another $1, which will be $1 on $1 or now $2, and they want to tax e-cigarettes and e-liquids 39% of the wholesale price. So that means that e-liquids are going to be more pricey in your general area. They're saying that if they pass this particular bill, tax increases would go into effect as of July 1st, 2021. Yes, that's true too. State lawmakers have not raised cigarette taxes since 2007, and the current tax rates are lower than all neighboring states in its current form. Good news right now until they raise the tax again. So basically, the reason why they're doing this. So why are they doing this? It's a plan to drive revenue. So they're saying that analysts say that this particular tax increase could generate an additional $278 million in the first year. And then by 2023, $294 million in additional tax revenue. But there are some issues with this bill because there's some complaints coming in from the peanut gallery and with the lawmakers that they're very concerned about where this money is being spent, right? So if you claim that you're doing this for the betterment of the health of your community and your state, I just want you guys to hear where all this money is going to go. So they're going to make you pay more. Hey, what's up, Daniel? But got two Daniels in here. We got a Daniel and Mr. Arden. Got two Daniels. So as currently written, 56% of the additional revenue would be deposited into the state general fund. All right, so that means it's not even going for anything particular. Just save it for a rainy day, fix the roads, whatever you use with the general fund. 27% of it would go to what's called the Healthy Indiana Plan Trust Fund. I'm not even really sure what that is. 5% would support the Pension Relief Fund. 4% would be distributed to the Cigarette Tax Fund. I don't even know what that is. However, a whole lot of it's going specifically for tobacco prevention or programs to help people quit smoking, things of that nature. Remaining amounts of this money would also be distributed to the Medicaid reimbursement, State Retiree Health Benefit Trust Fund, and the Mental Health Centers Fund. So they're going to take that money from you and put it towards a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with smoking or vaping. Several legislators would like to see more money dedicated to healthcare funds instead of the outlined disbursements. One county legislator actually wanted to push for a $2 per pack tax increase. And the underlying causation here is that they think that by making stuff more expensive, it's going to get people to quit. So quit by force, right? It's my experience that people will probably find a way to pay for it anyway. A gentleman by the name of Mason Oldie with Indiana Smoke-Free Alliance spoke in opposition to the bill. He stated that the tax on e-cigarettes is disproportionate, and in the end, with a 39% wholesale tax hike, it would raise the tax on a 60 ml bottle by $4. So if you're paying 20 now, you're going to be paying close to 24, 25 bucks. Oldie also argued if you're going to tax e-liquids, the lawmakers should also look at taxing other forms of THR like Nicorette gum. House committee did not vote on the bill in favor of making some amendments and how the tax revenue would be spent. So they're going to amend it this week, and then they're going to come back to the table, and then more than likely it's going to go to a vote. So Indiana, I would just knuckle down and prepare for a tax hike in your e-liquids and your vape stuff. I encourage you to pay attention to CASA's website and answer any calls to action. If there's a shot that you can get your voice heard, get it out there. And Bill kindly put the bill details in there. So that's the news. It's not always good news. A lot of bad news lately, but it's the news nonetheless.
We don't control the news, right? we only let you guys know what's going on. We got the let's see here. We have the poll question of the week. Does color matter in your gear? For most of us that started years and years and years ago, we were pretty much limited to two colors. It was
black and silver.
Yeah, black and chrome. I guess silver. Just basically our choices. And then I think a little bit down the road, we started getting I think gunmetal was like the one that came after your basic chrome and black, right, Brian? I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was gunmetal. And then they started introducing different colors. And so I put out a poll there. Yeah. Now we got RDAs and RTAs that are just called rainbow. So let's see here. Let me get this up. So you guys can answer that in the our viewers there if you got it. And the question was, Let's see here. The poll on the ZampleBox family member page is big time getting to make it fit my personality. So 26 people said, yeah, it's a big deal. Tim was one of them. I was one of them. We kind of like to match our shit together. And it's nice that we finally have the opportunity to, if we got an orange mod, we can find an orange RDA, or we can find an orange RTA or sub-ohm tank. So let's see here. The second one with 24 votes were no, it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker. And I think there's a lot of people that are out there. What do you guys think? That they really don't care as long as it works.
As long as it don't work, I don't care.
That was you. That was you.
That's me.
Yeah, as long as it works, and they're happy with it.
As I'm running, try to do matchy as much as possible.
Paul says no, not at all. If it works, it vapes. That's it. Daniel's got a little. All my stuff is black and gunmetal and silver. Most
of mine is black and silver.
Black and silver.
Yeah, I think that's pretty consistent across the board. I'm not a real big color person, but I think my first serious mod was a Wismec RX 200S, and it was red and black.
Red and black.
Like my first, I had stuff before that, tons of stuff before that, but yeah. And once I got into that, I'm like, oh, you can get all kind of fun and matchy. So it does kind of matter to me now.
Well, my issue with I tried to get different colored stuff before. My favorite color is blue, so I would try to lean more towards blue stuff. But to me, I've been noticing the colors are more of a secondary thing than it is the main focus. I've tried to I had a mod that was blue, and I want to find a blue tank for it, but the blue was always a tad bit different.
Yeah,
and it would always bother me. Stuff from Dot Mod would always match up just fine, not a problem, because they're actually made for each other. But so I've used it as accent colors now, and on different devices now. And so, I mean, to me, it just I'll either go with brass and gold or silver and gold, or silver and black, and that's it.
Yeah.
For a long time, that's it. That's all we had. Those were our choices.
And that way I can match everything.
I got chrome or black. And then I want to say, for some reason, it was, I'm probably wrong, but maybe you guys can correct. Was it with Tofo that really started the colors on RDAs?
I'm not.
I was trying to remember who it was, but I remember the first company that kind of just threw it all out there and just said, here you go. Shut up. We're done hearing about colors. And I want to say it was with Tofo. It may have even been, I might even have to go further back. It might be the Tobe or even the Tugboat.
Well, the Tugboat ones did come out in different colors quite often.
Yeah.
I think they started with the Tiffany blue, though. I think of what it was.
Yeah,
and then, yeah, I mean, you know, back in the day, you had the different color pens, but you didn't have
the mod.
A tank for it. You know, like the Nautilus Mini and all that stuff. Those are all the same color.
Yeah.
And then I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was I think the first color ones I saw was I was on the Freak Show is one of them that I saw it on quite often, and then there was RDAs like that, Tugboat had them, and then Tugboat I think they're the one that started the splash theme though, the splatter theme.
Yeah, the splatter. The splatter. I remember that was a big deal.
Yeah, and then it kind of progressed up from there, but I was never a fan of the splatter theme either. But that's just me.
I think that's true too. I think that when that rainbow color came out, that was just oh, do you have it in rainbow? Everybody was like, no rainbow yet, But yeah, that was one of those colors that I guess colors, I guess you should say, that was just kind of, and I mean, I don't even know how that, it's just heated, right? It's kind of just heating the metal to get
remember when everyone used to patina their mech mods?
Oh God, yeah.
I know when I managed shops, anything that came in a rainbow, I would get 2 or 3 times the amount that wasn't regular colors.
Yeah, they
all the
do.
Time.
Thank you.
All
Daniel,
the time.
that is true. Utofo has at least 47 colors of each Addy or mod.
I'm with Bill on that, except not hot pink. I usually go teal because not many guys are going to walk around with teal stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that before, just with some of our other guests about some of these mod companies starting to maybe start designing things more around the female vapor. Remember you guys talking about that and how I think, I mean, I think girl, I got to stop saying girl, but the lady or woman would probably rather have, I don't know, rainbow color or Tiffany blue or something like that rather than a solid black mod and who's pulling something up.
That's for something that I told you I had a quick PSA on.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, not to interrupt, but just when we get to it.
Okay.
So
I'm up. I
Okay.
see too many things. I got something from Tim here too. Tim, you sharing something?
No, I haven't stopped sharing my screen.
Oh, okay. I was tripping out. I was like,
no. There, now it's gone.
I was like, who are these? Who are all these people?
No, I always forget to stop the screen share.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so with this kind of caught my attention. I wanted to bring it up, because this can be really dangerous. You guys remember these old meters like this back in the day? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, the one side is for your addies, and then the other side is for your mods. But that's not for our current mods. Those are for those old pen style. Okay. Somebody came in here and asked questions. She's attached 2 mods. I kind of highlighted here. They attached 2 mods to it and couldn't get any reading of voltage. So a few minutes later, is testing resistance on one of the addies and put it back on the mod and wouldn't fire. He disassembled his guillotine, completely thinking that the fire bar was dirty or some other issue. No issue found. Then he tried putting the battery back on the charger after being unable to find an issue with this guillotine, and the battery wouldn't even register on his charger. By this point, he was puzzled, but anyway, he said he might have guessed where this was going. Both mods he attached on the tester had their batteries destroyed. These were two batteries that were less than a month old, and they are 30 Ts. He's curious if anyone else has had any issues with this device. What I found out through the comments is that he put on a hybrid mod on this hybrid mod on this device. Okay. My guess is that the thought process was right. He wanted to see like if the battery is actually at the right voltage. But you shouldn't need to even use this, and do not use this with hybrid mods at all. This is for your stick batteries. This is an older one. The newer ones do not have this at all ever. They will only have something like this on it instead, except for it's more of a 510 connection, not something like that. This, if you do put your mech mod on here, it will short, and you could have an explosion, a thermal runaway. It's called.
Yeah, the thing you're talking about is this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So just charge your batteries full until the charger says it's full, and then take them out and put them in your mod. Okay. Just ask before you do things sometimes.
Oh God.
I do worry about
incoming.
I went through the comments on here, and nobody's been a jerk about it. But the thing is, though, is that I don't think he understood what he was doing. And if you're gonna dwell into the mech side, you do have to understand what's going on. Because if you don't, something really, really bad can happen, even if it's just something as simple as you're thinking you're actually doing something correctly. Yeah. So be very, very, very careful.
These are dangerous if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
what they said.
So just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I doubt that you're just going to read. I doubt that you're just going to read, Daniel. You will comment.
That's the key word, Jesse. Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. He'll comment. Yeah, well, I think, Jesse, the thing behind that, and it's, look, we're not here to criticize how you want to charge your batteries. I think what the deterrent for that is that most times you're not going to have an issue with charging a battery in the mod. But the mods really aren't designed to send out the proper current to the battery, and they're a little inconsistent left and right. So, when you have a dual battery mod or something like that, and I'm not talking about ones that have built-in batteries and you don't have a choice. I'm talking about where you got two 18650s or something in it. It's not really the best idea to have current, have consistent current flowing back through the mod that way. It's safer and more healthy for the battery to charge it outside the device That's
Right.
just a recommendation.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you know your shit's going to blow up in the middle of the night, or you're going to wake up and your pillow is going to be on fire because you fell asleep. It's always good to be prudent.
Yeah,
A
you
lot
may
of people.
you may never have an issue with it at all, but that one time may cost your life. And
Go ahead, John.
if you're using a single battery device, it's fine. It's fine to use it. But once you start using 2 and like the Wismex with 3 batteries, that's when you start playing around with fire, guys. And even people say, if you got one of the better chips, the DNA chip, they say go ahead and use it. It's fine. I still don't trust it. I got a battery charger. I take my batteries out. I put it in the charger, and I don't have to worry about it. It's just that one time, guys. And who doesn't leave shit plugged in overnight? I mean, there's a lot of us that do that, and that's the dangerous part, is just plugging something in overnight.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's what they promote. I mean, I think some of the newer mods that have come out are probably a little bit better at it, because they know that that's kind of how they push that thing. But it really is probably in the end much better. I mean, your batteries will last you a lot longer. Yep. They won't get out of sync. I mean, you're using married pairs, and if one's not getting the right voltage on the charge, yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Here's my 2 cents on it. You have one life. That's all you have.
Yep.
Why risk anything to shorten that? And Bill, 2 honey badgers would work better. More courage.
My big thing is any mod that has a pass-through charge is for emergency use only. On the go, need a little bit of charge to get home. Otherwise, I always take my batteries out, put them on the charger. I have like 3 different chargers, 1 upstairs, 2 downstairs, and I take my batteries out and I put them on there and let them charge. And I'll swap out the battery and let that one charge while I'm using something else. That's why I tell people that's my personal philosophy. But a lot of people are like, no, I use it in the mod all the time. It's because they don't want to buy a charger.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if you're in a pinch, you're at work and you need to charge it just to get home, a few minutes to get that extra little battery juice you need to get you home, that's fine. But these people that are plugging them in overnight and leaving them there while they sleep, I mean, you're playing with fire.
Yep.
And honestly, a battery charger is a hell of a lot cheaper than a funeral.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's some. I mean, you can look around. Go on like Lion Wholesale, Liion, Lion Wholesale, and they've got some very reasonably priced chargers that are not that expensive. That you can get. I mean, they have high end ones. You don't need that. You just need something that's got circuit protection.
Get one for $20.
Overcharge protection. Get a 2-bay Nicor. It'll do everything
and you'll be good. Yeah.
Yep. So that's my thing with if you plug it into different things like your computer, what's going to happen is that it's going to trickle charge it, and it's not going to charge it the way it should. Sometimes you have your cell phone chargers. Well, those are running at like 2 amps, if not higher, 2.1 amps, and fast charge for cell phones only. Those can ruin the board on your mod. So if you don't know what charger you're using, please just get an external charger and just use one of those, because the fast charge can ruin a board, and which can also cause thermal runaways. Or the other one, you'll think it's charging and it's slowly charging, and you still won't have much of a battery. So
and the only other thing I would point out about chargers is make sure that charger can handle the batteries that you're using. I mean, like the Nicor D4, I have that. I have 2 of those. But what they won't handle very well is like the larger battery sizes, like 21700s and 2700s. You're going to have to look for something that has a bit wider of a bay capacity. Gear Falcon, which makes really great chargers, those will handle anything up to friggin' D cells and stuff. So just be sure whatever charger you buy is within your capacity, or if you plan on expanding. So let's say in the next month you want to get a dual 21700 mod and you're thinking about getting a charger too, just make sure that it'll tell you that you can charge that size battery, because sometimes they're really slender channels.
And don't trust the manufacturers, what they write on there. You guys use your vape groups, go on there, see what everybody's using, because I ran into the same problem Tim did. It said it could use 21700s. I bought it, got home, they didn't fit in there. I was pissed off. Then I have to ship it back. So You got a great resources there in your vape groups. Go in there, ask, hey, what are you guys using, and let them know what types of batteries you're going to be using in there. And
you can send us an email, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, we'll help you out.
If
Yeah,
that's
we'll tell you.
easier for you.
Yeah, because there is a lot of them. I mean, you can spend upwards to $100. You can get Bluetooth. You can get all this nonsense that you want with these chargers now. But make sure you pick the one that takes care of the batteries that you have, because a lot of our devices now, or some of them are using
at least 2 LED colors, right?
Yeah,
red blinking when it's charging and green when it's done.
I do love the Bluetooth feature, and because I have the charger I have one charger in the living room, and that's my Bluetooth one, and I can check, anytime I want, I can check to see if I plugged my batteries in, what are they at, but I mean, it's just up to you. There's a lot of them out there. And like I said, they go from as cheap as I think we saw some for $14.
Yep.
All the way up and to a couple $100. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Some of them now are, what are they? Some of them are 2 amps. So you just kind of look around.
What website is that, John?
I think that's 18. What is that? The
18650 battery store.
Yeah.
I use this one quite often. It's one of the Nightcore ones.
Yeah.
And this one's really nice because if you put it uses micro USB on it. So if you plug it in, what's going to do, if you have 2 batteries in here, if it's not getting enough voltage, it'll charge one before the other one. But if it's getting enough voltage, it'll charge 2 at a time. So the thing actually, the battery charger itself actually regulates all your stuff for you, which is really nice. So I use that one. And then my favorite is X-Stars. I love X-Star chargers.
Yeah. And because Bill brought it up, please, guys, stop putting fucking loose batteries in your pockets. These are super cheap. I mean, look, there's 50 cents, guys. And I think even some of these I don't think they do it anymore, but there was a couple of the battery stores that would send you out free cases when you purchase batteries. I don't think they're doing that too much anymore, but 50 cents, guys. Remember what you got in your pockets. You got your keys in there. You got change in there. That's not for, I don't even want to talk about the burning that will happen to your leg, but the cases are really cheap. If you're going to order a battery charger, get yourself a couple of cases, make sure you get the right one. So if you're using 21700 batteries, then make sure you pick up the cases. I think they're all listed on there. So yeah, they say 18615 battery case.
I used to give those away.
Yeah, just make sure you get the right size ones. And then since Bill brought it up too, let's talk about this too, because this seems to be a big problem. I saw a set of batteries today at the vape shop, and he took them out to replace them with other batteries. And I kind of looked over at his batteries, and I just did the head shake, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I said, "Dude, they're cheap. You're at the vape shop. They sell them for 10 cents each. Buy 2, please." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The battery wrap's all ripped up. His what is it? The insulator, the top was just barely hanging. He had to physically put the insulator back on to put the battery in his mod." And I was just like, no. Yeah, they're really cheap. And look, you can even personalize some of these. I think this site probably not so much, but I think eBay's got some sites where you can get box Superman, I don't know, whatever you want on a battery wrap, you can get on there. I think a couple of you guys have some that are all tricked out, right? I thought you did. I thought for sure you'd have one with cheeses on it, Tom.
That's remarkably hard to find.
A cheese battery wrap.
But you can get the clear one and print out a piece of paper that will fit around the battery.
Oh yeah, I remember that hack. Yeah, that's a pretty because there were some people that were doing that. Yeah,
rewrapping your batteries is easy.
It's easy. I mean, and you don't. And I've done a video on it for the ZampleBox page. You don't need a heat gun, guys. You can. I mean,
hairdryer.
I think people still have hair dryers at home. I think they still do.
That's what I use.
And I don't have any hair on my head, but I still have a hairdryer.
Yeah, I have very little left, and I still have one in the house. And I think my daughter left it. But yeah, I mean, you can use a blow dryer. It works great. Put it on the highest setting, and just boom, those wraps shrink really quickly.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little word of advice, because I've rewrapped using a hairdryer. It's easier to start from the center and kind of work outwards, because eventually you're going to get to a point where your fingers start to get really hot from trying to avoid the stream of air coming out of the hairdryer. So try shrinking the middle section once you have it lined up, and then work to an end, and then, then turn it around and then go to the other side. Don't. A lot of people are like, I can't do it because it's. Oh, and by the way, to Jesse, who's in the chat, I sent you an email, bro, with all 3 links to the 3, probably the most reliable websites for batteries and chargers.
Yeah. I always start with the insulator because I don't want to lose it. So I always start heating that insulator part because I'll keep my finger on the battery with the insulator on there, and I'll let it shrink. And then I'll move to the middle of the battery and work my way to the end. Because I have had that. I've hit it with the blow dryer, and that insulator took off flying, and then I couldn't find it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, another little
for that, John. Get the self stick.
I get the self sticking ones.
Yeah, I take my wraps off, and the first thing I do is I clean my battery. That's the first thing you should do, is clean the insulator, clean the battery, the top and the bottom and the inside of it, because you get a lot of e-liquid that, all our mods leak. We got e-juice on our battery in the inside wrap part of the battery. So I always take them apart, clean the battery, clean the insulator, get all that goop off of there. And I always put my finger over the top of I'll line up the sleeve and then put my finger right on the insulator, and I heat that first, and that'll shrink, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Another little word of advice too is, this is always a challenging part about battery wraps, is the ends.
Yeah.
So be near in your bathroom or somewhere where you have like a granite countertop or something. And then when you finally get to that little fold at the top of the battery, so let's just say your positive pin is here and the wrap is coming over, you can heat the top of that battery. And then once it's nice and warm and hot, take it and put it down right on top of the granite and just kind of rub it. It'll help to form that last little crease on the top and the bottom of the battery, the positive and the negative sides.
Yeah. Yeah, just be careful, guys. Just be careful. I mean, seeing those batteries today, I just kind of shook my head, and even the guy at the vape shop kind of shook his head, and we were waiting for him to basically say, yeah, like when you say, yeah, I know, but he never even said the, yeah, I know. He just proceeded to put the insulator back on the battery that he's taking. At least they were in a case. I was glad that they were in a case in his pocket. But when he took it out and he's going to replace the battery, and he takes the insulator and he's trying to feed it back in the little hole there that was open for the insulator. And I just kind of looked at him like, that's not too good. They got them right there. I'm looking right at them, pointing at in the display, and I'm going, they're right there. They're like 10 cents a piece, man. Just buy a handful. Go home, and I'm sure those are not the only 2 batteries you have that look like this. So I'm assuming you're going to need a handful of these. Grab a handful and go, marry your batteries. Good. Yeah, that's another thing a lot of people are not doing, but it's kind of hard because, I'm not going to say it's hard, but because a lot of devices now are coming out that it seems like the single battery is the big deal right now. There's a lot of devices that are coming out that are single batteries. And I think people think they can take that battery every now and then and put it back with another battery that they're using on a dual mod. And that's not a good idea, guys. You guys want to touch on that?
On what was this?
Marrying batteries.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just always prudent too. I mean, that's just another thing, because if you buy sets and then keep them together for the duration of their time, unless you get to a point where you have way too many batteries and you can start breaking up some sets. But I always do that. Like, I have some that are just specifically for pairs. I have ones that are triples. I even have one that's for 4, because I have one mod that takes 4 18650s, and I try to keep all those together. So It's been a bit of a challenge trying to keep everybody happy.
And test your batteries, guys. Especially if you have a battery charger. Look at it when you plug it in there. See how long it's taking the charge. See how quickly it's draining when you're using it. If it's not holding up like it used to, replace those batteries, guys. Just replace them. Shit, I'm a Samsung. I've used the Samsung 25Rs forever. That's the only battery I buy, and you can get 6 of them for $4.95 a piece.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great battery. It's always been a great battery. It's one of the only batteries that I feel that has held the test of time in this industry as far as not really being a battery that you have to worry about when you purchase it. It's always a good battery. They did have, I don't know, Brian, was it about 6 or 7 years ago where there was a lot of counterfeit 25Rs that were floating around. That was the only time they really had an issue with 25Rs, because it was just like, hey, and then the only way you could tell was taking the wrap off, wasn't it?
Yep, and it was on the number on it.
Yeah, it was the number on it. Yeah, but there was that problem with them, and when something is popular, it gets counterfeited. So, but yeah, that's been my battery of choice. I don't know. You guys want to throw out some batteries that you guys like, or?
I like Molicels, Samsung's, LG Brown,
Molicel,
Sony.
Right now, a lot of the batteries now coming out with that's the Ohm Tech ones. A lot of people use those too. Those are just rewraps, but from what I understand, I've used them. I've had no problems. The ones I used to use really hard to find out because they had the not for use for e-cigarettes on them and stuff. So, it is what it is. But
yeah. And like Bill said, you guys go check Mooch's Facebook page, dude. He lists everything on there: batteries, battery chargers, everything that you need to know about is on that page as well. So it's a great resource. He does it for free, so utilize it.
And also for everybody in the chat, I'll do it in both groups, both the Facebook and the YouTube. But this comes up because people may not know what the best battery is for that application. I'm putting a link to Mooch's blog or his recommended batteries. If you have any questions about, he's the aforementioned tester of all batteries that are out there that you can use for your vape mods and vape devices. And he gives a really clean chart on which ones to pick as best batteries. So I'm going to put a link in the YouTube chat and in the Facebook chat, and save that, bookmark that thing. And if you ever have any questions, you can go. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. You can find him everywhere, but this is really easy. It's just going to be a link, and it's going to be a chart, unregulated and regulated. And he goes through all the different sizes and which ones he rates as best. It's like top 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries.
Yes, he does. Yep. Also, hey, while I got you guys watching, if there is anyone you guys would like to see us interview on the show, let us know down in the comments here. We've had Mooch on, we've had a couple other people on, but if there's somebody that you guys would like for us to bring on to the show, let us know in the comments. And you can also always email us, guys, and I will throw that up there.
And one thing you do not want to call Mooch is the gold standard. He will get pissed.
He didn't like that. Yeah, but we want to bring some more people in from the community. Not so much the big names. We'd like to have some of the individuals that come on the show that have been a big part of this community, whether they've been trying to save vaping and the advocacy part, anything like that. If there's somebody you guys would really like for us to have on the show that maybe doesn't do a lot of shows, let us know. Oh, I would love to have Dave from Dash Vapes on there, and that would be pretty friggin' awesome. But I will try. I'll send him an email, Paul. Also, hey, hit it. Oh wait, is Dash Vapes done? Is the webpage? Is the YouTube channel gone?
I never heard any more follow up if they got it back or not.
Yeah, so I would love to have him back on. Also, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get somebody from Europe or outside of the U.S. to come on to just kind of discuss how the regulations here in the U.S. are going to start affecting them. So we'll have somebody on here next week to talk a little bit about stuff outside the U.S. to see how things are going there and how it's going to affect them. There's going to be a lot of changes, and I would kind of love to hear their take on how they're looking at things happening here. Bogan, Bogan, go hit his YouTube channel and say, hey, you need to come on Wednesday Night Live with on the ZampleBox page. We'll try, but keep the names coming. We love to see who you guys would like for us to interview and talk to, and even shops. We'd love to get more shops come on. It was really nice having Angie come on from 503 or Smokeless Vapor Inc. That was very cool, and to kind of hear how things are going there in Minneapolis. So if there's shops that you guys want us to interview or smaller, we'd like to help smaller labels too. So if there's some smaller label e-juice companies that are out there that you would love to have come on here and talk about their products, that works well too. Because I mean, there's so many brands out there that that Tim might not know about, I might not know about. So if there's this, but we'd like to help the smaller brands. So we don't. Naked doesn't need any help, and neither does
Cutwood doesn't need help. Five Ones doesn't need help.
We would love to have. Yeah,
I would love it if Monster Labs would just be flailing in the ocean, getting ready to drown, and I would completely be happy to review all their stuff for them.
Who is that? Is that you, Daniel? Because if that's you, we don't want you on the show.
Yeah, we do. I think Daniel would be fun on the show.
Yeah, it's Mr.
Daniel.
Arden. Yeah.
You can come on, Daniel. We'd love to hear your story, your journey, how you got to.
Well, sorry, John, didn't mean to overspeak, but what Bill said about the right there, the caveat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel's
exactly.
a personality.
Yeah, exactly.
I've made GIFs starring Daniel Arden.
Yeah, we will try. Yeah, and hopefully, Bill. Actually, I won't say the name, but hopefully, it is a Canadian shop that I'm trying to get onto the show next week to kind of talk about things in Canada there. So, I would love to get somebody in Europe, but our start time is 6, and it would be 3:00 in the morning. I don't know how excited they would be to come on our show at 3 a.m. in the morning there in the UK, but I would love to see it because we all know it's there. What happens here is going to affect them. So I would love to hear their take on how they're preparing for, I don't know, you want to say Armageddon?
Bleak times.
Vape-mageddon.
Yeah, I was trying to find my video my rap video. I can't find it. The YouTube page, the ZampleBox YouTube page is full of stuff, lots of fun stuff, but I can't find my video. I wish that was one thing I wish Facebook would do, so you can use keywords to find things that you uploaded maybe like 2 years ago.
No.
Hey, send them, Daniel, since you know Tim really well and I don't respond to any of your DMs. hit Tim up with Goof and let him know what we'd love to have them on. Or send them our email. Tell them, hey, shoot us an email and we'll see what we can do to get them on and have a little chit chat. Anything else you guys got? What else you guys got? You got anything else, Tim?
No,
I'm good.
How about that guy over there in the dark?
I'm good, man.
You're good?
You need more blue, Brian.
I could probably get more blue.
No, more blue in your room.
Well, we'll see what happens next week.
Okay.
Good night, Jesse.
Good night, Jess. It's good having you on.
Yeah, great having you here, Jess.
Yeah,
we started early and we have run long, so
yeah, it's all right. It's 2 shows. Shows. Thanks.
It was a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, it's 2-for-1. I will be giving Streamyard a very lengthy email tomorrow morning when I email them to find out why I can do that on my cell phone when I'm not even logged on as myself. That was me as a guest on my own show that I was able to control and shut down a whole show. That's a little scary.
Yeah, but didn't you start the show with the phone?
No, I started the show with the computer. That's what I'm saying. I started with the computer and I logged on my cell phone as a guest, not as my not as my name here.
Yeah.
So why did I have that much access and control to this show? That's is ridiculous on a phone.
Maybe the guest account was recognized as
also
as a host.
Yeah, it's possible.
Weird.
All right, guys. Well, hey, give us let's see here.
10-4, Daniel. I got you.
Daniel's good seeing you as always. Send them that email address. Tell them to get a hold of us, and we'll bring them on the show and we'll talk. Any goodbyes, you guys?
See ya.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Oh, don't do anything. That's a chat on that. Don't do anything that you have to explain to an EMT, a cop, or a firefighter.
That's it. Yeah.
Just comply.
Just comply. Just put your hands up. Get down on the floor. Get on your knees. Or what do they want you to get on your stomach now? Get on your stomach.
Yeah. Get on the ground.
On the ground now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. That's it for us. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. We want to see some likes, guys. I never wanted to be that person to say likes, but give us some likes on that YouTube channel and on the ZampleBox family, or not the family page, but the ZampleBox corporate page. Give us some likes. We like seeing them. That thing is driving me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it, Daniel. I'm mad at them right now.
Who you? No. We'll tell you. You come on to the sports show and bitch about your Green Bay Packers.
I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm over. Baseball time.
Well, thank you guys. We'll see everybody next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Same place, same channel. Wednesday Night Live will be on the ZampleBox company page and YouTube channel, and we are out.
Peace.